Hey guys, I'm so sorry. We are running a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties, and it's me. Yes, there is. We are here. We're live. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you, cousin. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Hey, Laura. Hey, Donna. Hey, Latrice. Hey, cousin. Let me see who else we got in the building. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Kay. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Janae. Hey, Betty Rose. Hey, Denise. Yes, Jasmine, we are live. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Candace. Okay, so let me know. Can you guys hear me fine? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me fine. Let me know. I feel like I'm talking a little bit louder because my guest was a little lower to me. And I think it's because I can't connect my headset to the this stinking phone. But it is what it is. All right, we hear me fine. All right, good. So how many of you guys in this room need help with your credit? How many of you guys screwed up your credit? How many of you guys have credit? Maybe you don't even have credit yet. Like what we got going on out there? You need help? You need to build it? What we got going on out there? Me, Yazzie Faye said, me. Hey, Yazzie Faye. All right, so we are going to get you all the way together tonight. Tonight it is Credit 101, and we have our guest in the house. Her name is Miss Louisa Holtzman, and she is going to help you guys get your credit together. So I hope you guys have your pens and your pads ready to go. If you have any friends and family who need help with their credit and you know that they could benefit from this, send them the link and tell them come on over here and join us. Don't forget, everybody, hit that thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And let's get these likes up. Let me see. Got it. Need to raise it some more personal. Okay, got you, Jasmine. All right, both, both, right? We all need some help raising that credit, right? So raising that credit score. So we're going to have, all right, y'all. We're about to bring Miss Louisa in, and she is going to introduce herself. You guys, so welcome the beautiful Miss Louisa Holtzman. Clap. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Louisa. I'm the owner and creator of a business called REALWORLD Winning. It's for winners in the real world, like yourselves. It's a time and money management resource. And I have an Instagram you can definitely check out at the end of this as well. I have a little presentation to give you just to start off. I'm going to start at the very, very basics credit is made up, like what credit. And also along the way, I'm going to drop little tips of things that I do on keep credit high and good credit habits. So let me go ahead and share. I made a little presentation.
Everybody is saying hi to you. I don't know if you can see the chat on the side. They're talking to you.
For me, because I was very low. Yeah, I was very low for Nikki. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Because if not, I told
Yes.
Nikki I will scream, and I'm pretty loud. So I don't think I need to do that. But let me know.
All right.
All
So
right,
put
I
some
just
ones in the
added
chat
that
if the
in right
audio is good.
now.
Yazzie Face says it's just a little bit choppy. They can hear you. Okay. Okay. Make sure it's loud and clear because y'all need to
Okay.
make sure y'all take some
All
good
right.
notes.
I was
I got
gonna
my pad ready.
absolutely. I have my ready too. So any questions that you guys have, I'm gonna make sure that I answer those along the way as well. And I'm so sorry that
All
it's
right.
taking so
So
long for me to get to it right now.
all right. So we got some ones in the chat so they can hear you. So I think just on my end, I hear you low. On the computer,
Okay,
I
good.
heard you fine, but you couldn't hear me on the computer.
Okay. I can hear
I
you
think there
now
was some.
perfectly, Nikki. So
Okay.
all right, my slide is
So
coming
whenever
right
you're
now.
ready, you ready to share your screen now?
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to come on up.
I see it.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Awesome, guys. So, 101, credit 101, what your credit score consists of. So, right now, drop a 1 in the chat if you know what your credit score is. Cuz right now, do you even know where to look up your credit score? Like for example, you can use your bank apps. I use apps like CreditWise. I use Cash App, Mint. A lot of the banking apps and a lot of the finance apps will help you know your credit score. And if you need help with it, that's why I'm here to give you these tips. So, credit is another word for trust. I worked in banking for about 7 years and I learned the good ways to build my own credit. And I saw a huge opportunity in my community for people that just didn't know how it worked or how to make it work for them as opposed to working against them. So, creditors trust that you're going to use their money, but you're not going to overuse it. They trust that you're gonna pay their money back in time, and they trust that the money will be used on a consistent basis. Very cool. Yep. Credit Karma, credit card app. Yep. My credit union. I use a credit union as well. Those are very good apps to check your credit score. There's 5 components that make up your credit score, and I'm going to break them down for you. But just off the top, the most important is your payment history. Then it's your amount owed, length of credit history, new credit, and your credit mix. And again, I'm going to break these all down for you. So the first one, like I said, is the most important. It's your payment history or your on-time monthly payments. This is again how often you pay your bills on time. I recommend that you create a budget for yourself if you don't know when your bills are due, and I can definitely help you out with that as well. I have definitely been in the situation where I couldn't pay at least the minimum. I always recommend paying at least the minimum each month. But I've been in the situation before where I couldn't pay the minimum, and I know how that feels. But I know it's hard to say and do, but I recommend not running and don't hide from it. What I recommend if you can't pay on the due date is contact the creditor and let them know, hey, this is a situation, I'm having an issue. And sometimes, more than likely, the creditor will work out a negotiation with you. Like, okay, this time just pay this amount, or all right, if you can't pay this month, we'll put extra on the next month. Usually they'll like to work it out with you because they'll want to get some money as opposed to no money at all. So I always recommend not running from it and just facing it and giving them a call. No, don't run, don't run. I've done there before. I've done it before. Please believe, but it doesn't go away if you run. So just just manning up to it, giving them a call, saying this is what the situation is, and like I said, more than likely they're willing to work it out with you then because they'll get some money as opposed to none. The next one is your credit use or your credit utilization. And this makes up about 30% of your credit score. So already with your payment history being 35% and your credit use being 30%, these are the two big hitters that have the biggest effect on your credit score. So your credit utilization, creditors usually like to see it be less than 30%. I always recommend to pay your balances down to zero as quickly and comfortably as possible. I have a lot of clients that come to me, like I would never want my client to come to me and say, hey, Louise, I couldn't eat because I had to pay my bill. Absolutely not. I've been in that situation too. I understand again, but don't run from it. So always pay your bills down to zero as quickly and possible, as comfortable as possible. And if you're having issues with this, a good way to stay disciplined, and I can help you guys with this as well, is to give each card a purpose that you have, each credit card a purpose. So the easy ones are like if you have a store card, like a Target card or a Victoria's Secret card. I know that those, a Kohl's card, for example. I know a lot of people have Kohl's cards. Only use those cards when you're in that store. That's how you can stay disciplined with it. And then for the other cards that you have, like a Discover card or a Visa card, you can dedicate those yourself and say, okay, this is my gas card. And then that way, if you have each card dedicated to something, then you'll know that you won't overuse it. And I could definitely help you out with that. In the next class, I'm going to actually talk about how to um, determine which card has which purpose, which card should have which purpose. It's all about what the maximum on the card is and what you're going to use it for. And we'll talk about that in the next class. So stay tuned for that one. The next one is your credit history. And this makes up about 15% of your credit score. This one I try not to focus on too much because credit history is really easy to mess up and it's not really it's difficult to make better. The only way that you can improve your credit history is to continuously have on time monthly payments for a long time. What I mean by it's easy to mess it up is sometimes I will repair somebody's credit and I will, let's say, remove a late payment from like a school loan they had. But the school loan was the first line of credit that they had when they were 16 years old, or 18 years old, I should say, hopefully. And when I remove that late payment, that gets rid of that whole credit history that they had with them, as bad as it is. But I always tell my members, my clients, that it's better to get rid of bad things like a late payment than you can build it up with good habits, those points that you lose from, negating that negative point. Yeah, closing accounts does hurt your score. Absolutely. That goes to utilization as well, your overall utilization. I've had an account closed on me before too. I'll try not to steer off too long, and we'll go on the next page. But I've had an account closed on me as well, because I didn't use it. Utilization, again, they like to see you use it on a consistent basis. So they closed the account on me, and it actually um, drops your score, and I'll explain why in the next few slides why it drops your score. But I've had it closed on me because I didn't use it, and when you don't use it, they can't trust that you're gonna use it and pay it, so they usually close it on you. Unfortunately, after a certain amount of time, it's like 7 years or a certain amount of time. The next one is credit inquiries. Credit inquiries are soft pulls or hard credit pulls. Um, when you don't use it, you lose it. Exactly. Um, when you pull your credit score on your banking app or those other financial apps that we talked about earlier, those are soft credit pulls and they don't hurt. You can pull your credit score on those a million times if you wanted to. It's the hard inquiries and the hard credit pulls that hurt your credit score, and they can hurt your credit score up to 15 points. Unfortunately, for creditors, when they see a lot of inquiries to them, it looks like desperation. But so many of my clients get have a lot of inquiries on their credit report because I'll see things like an auto dealership. They went to go get a car, and just for example, I'll use Honda. They went to the Honda dealership in their town and they tried to get a car, and they agreed to one hard credit pull in front of that Honda agent. When that Honda agent pulled the credit, they saw that, oh my gosh, can't get that sale. But what they don't tell the client most of the time is that they're also running their credit at many other Honda dealerships the next town over or the next town from that one, just to see if they can get the sale for the client for the car. They don't care what it does to your credit score. So a lot of the times my clients will say, oh, I'm going to go apply for, or I'm going to go try to get a car loan. And then I'll pull the credit report the next month, and there will be about 10 to 15 inquiries that they did not agree to, and I'll have to dispute it off their report. But those are 10 to 15 hard inquiries. That's 10 to 15 times up to 15 points that it hurts their score. So inquiries, and to the creditors, again, it looks like, okay, this person is going to this dealership and this dealership and this dealership and this dealership and all these different places just to get this car, when that's not really the fact. But to the creditors, it looks like desperation. So hard inquiries are bad for your credit score. Creditors like to see you do about 2 to 3 hard pulls a year, and they fall off your credit report every 2 years. Yep, it is so crazy. I can't tell you how often it happens to my clients. Settlements do not hurt your credit score. I Let me write that down and I'll explain why at the end of this. Settlements with debt. That's a good one. So the last slide that I want to go over your credit score is your credit mix, or the types of credit you have. And this is why I'm going to go into detail about why closing your accounts hurts you. So creditors like to see that you can handle different types of credit. They like to see one fixed rate loan, usually like a car loan. They like to see around 3 to 4 revolving loans, which are credit cards or line of credit. And they also like to see a real estate loan, which is a mortgage. So like my credit report told me I needed to get a mortgage, and I had to tell my credit report I don't make mortgage money yet. So thank you for telling me that, but I can't improve that. So this is another one. It's worth 10%. I try not to focus on it too much. I try not to focus on it too much, because again, it's when you're first fixing your credit or first building your credit, mixing up your credit isn't the most important thing. I want you to get down the basics first, like paying your bill on time and making sure that you're using it but not overusing it. Those are like the basic principles of using credit responsibly and in positive ways. If you do those two things, then your credit score will absolutely improve. So those are the components of your credit score. I go through all of them on my Instagram. I into a lot more detail. If you want to follow me on there, I have this slideshow available for everybody. I also offer a repair program where you can do 6 months of credit repair. If you already know that you have a bad score that just needs some improvement or a credit report that just needs some cleaning up, I can do it for you. You know, a lot of people always say that they could do it themselves, and they absolutely can, but it's tedious and time consuming, and I'd rather do it for you. So I offer that as a 6 months program for $350. It's only $100 to start. And I have our little referral program for this class today that if you sign up with two other friends, that each of you will receive a $10 gift card. And also, if each of you sign up together, I offer it at $100 to start with $50 a month as well for each of you. And if you're not really sure if, you know, the credit repair program is right for you, if you just want to talk about your credit score, I also offer consultation calls as well for different prices and different time amounts. So you could definitely let me know as well. So does anybody, so I want to get to that settlement of debt with your credit score question, and then I'll get to the other questions in the chat. So that was a great question. Settlements are not bad. Settlements usually come after the fact, after, you know, you already are late on it. When you make a settlement, I always tell my clients to get everything in writing. Always get everything in writing. If you are on the phone with somebody and you guys make a settlement that you'll say you'll pay a certain amount and that will pay off the debt, that you will be done with it, make sure you get it in writing. And after you get that letter, you can get it removed from your credit report. So that will improve your credit score actually.
Okay, so I had to make sure I messed with the computer right. So I could get the sound together. So we have a question right now in the chat from Betty Rose. She wants to know, I'll put it right up on the screen if you can see it.
How long do student loans hurt your credit? So it depends what you mean by the student loan. Do you have a late payment on the student loan? Did you defer on the student loan? Sometimes it depends on the state. It could be anywhere from 7 years, it could be 10 years. But if you have proof that you have paid certain amounts of it or paid off certain amounts of it, again, if you have that proof in writing, you can always dispute that off your credit report. So it stops hurting your credit.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is so good. And you explained it so nice and so easy. I was like, oh, okay. Because
I'm sorry if
I'm
I went fast. I usually talk very fast, so I
they're used
apologize
to
for
it. I
that.
speak just as fast. They're used to it.
Good, good.
They are used to the fast talking.
Credit card debts. How would you clean up credit card debts? So sit down with those bills, see what the balance is with them. See if you can make the monthly minimum. Give them a call. If they can maybe negotiate it. Again, with credit cards, to keep yourself disciplined, I recommend giving each credit card a purpose. So, and shopping is not a purpose, unfortunately. That was my first lesson that I had to learn. So, I have a gas card that I only take out of my wallet when I have to get gas. I have a travel card that I only take out of my wallet when I travel. Keeping it disciplined keeps it also the balance lower, so that, you know, if I use it, all right, I can go pay it off right now, as opposed to just racking
Hmm.
up the bill, not remembering when you use it.
Hmm. And I like the idea what you said on using the cards for a specific meaning.
Yeah.
Now, do you suggest getting like you know how they have the gas cards for your business credit and stuff? Do you suggest doing that or just using a credit card and putting that as your gas card?
It depends. If you already have the credit card, set that as its purpose.
Hmm.
If you are establishing credit, that's a good key, safe way to start establishing credit in a good, safe habit way.
Hmm.
If you get it, like again, if I go, what I wanted to do to start my business credit is I was going to go to the Apple store and I was going to try to make finances on an Apple computer. So things like that are safe, secure loans that you can get yourself on a scheduled budget, and it helps raise your credit score.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
that's good. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So we have some more questions in here. All right. Betty Rose says no late payments on the payment program.
That's right. That's right.
Let me. Okay, so here we go. Yazzie Face. Yazzie Face trying to get her credits together.
Even if they're in collection, yes, yes. Even if they're in collections, you can call the creditor and admit to it and say, "Listen, I know I owe this debt. Is there some way that we can negotiate it or settle it down? Or if you don't owe that debt, you can dispute it off your credit report. You can join my credit repair program, and I'll dispute it off your credit report."
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, real world winning. Oh,
Ooh,
they came ready for you.
that's a hard one. No, that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to do research on that one because that's a very uh one off. I've never come to that situation before, but I'm sure that you can contact the credit bureaus and let them know that the school was frauded you. Absolutely, you can let them know that it was fraud. Absolutely. You can tell the creditors that you reported as fraud and say, I was scammed, and they can do a report and an investigation into it for you.
Yeah, because if it were, how could you have a student loan if the school's not accredited?
How could they lend you money if they're not anybody to lend?
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll look that. I'm gonna do research on that. Non-accredited school. That is crazy. All right.
Yeah, that one is
How many credit
nuts.
cards should someone have? Uh, a good amount, a good positive amount is about 3 to 4. And again, give each of them a purpose. So right now I have a travel card. I'm not traveling, so I'm not really using that card. But I'm using my gas card. I have store cards. um, the thing about store cards I recommend, because of course once you start improving your credit, everybody's going to want to give you credit again,
Yes.
because they see, okay, well, we can trust her with our money, so let's give her our money too. You know what I mean? It's very tempting. It is very tempting. So if you're at a store and you're presented with that, where they're like, hey, we're offering 20% off this if you apply for this, think to yourself, do I shop at this store often?
Right.
The one of the cards I have, unfortunately, I have a J.C. Penney card. I'm expecting them to close that on me any minute now. Talk about closing accounts. Um, I bought that card because I had to go there and buy something from there once a month, and I knew that I was going to go there. I could only buy that product from there, that from that store. So I
Mm-hmm.
knew, all right, I'm going to have to come here once a month to get this. When I went to the cash out, they said, "Do you want a credit card?" I said, "Absolutely." I applied for it. They gave it to me on the spot. So what did I do? I then used that credit card to purchase, right? So then swipe, whatever, they hand me my receipt. After I had that receipt, I then said, "Hey, I'd like to pay off my credit bill." And then I took cash out of my pocket, my debit card, and I paid off my credit card to zero. So I had a credit, I used it, and I used it responsibly. I didn't overuse it. I used it once a month. And a myth that I definitely want to bust right now before everybody leaves is, a lot of people think, or a lot of people say, let's say you have a credit card that's $100 and you use the whole $100 and then you pay it off right after. That's good, right? Unfortunately, it's not, because of the credit utilization. Because if you have a credit card that's $100 and you're using all of that $100, you're using 100% of that utilization. They don't like that. They want to see you use about 30%. So what I would recommend for a card that has a limit of $100 is use that for a bill that's something that's $30 a month. That's what I would recommend, that purpose for that card. And then you would use that every month. And then every time you would use your credit card for that one purpose, you would use it. You can then pay it off right after you use it, because then you're not using the whole bit of it. So
Now I
that's
have a
the difference.
question.
Go
Should
for it.
you wait until the payment is due, or you could do it just like that? Does it
You don't
still?
have to. You don't have
Mm.
to. A lot of people think like, "Oh, if I make the first payment," it's so crazy what I hear sometimes. "I'll make the first payment 8 days before the bill cycle, and then I'll
Yes, because
make the
that's what I
second."
heard.
No, no, no. You can, like I said, as long as you're not maxing the card out, you can pay it off right after you use it. The
Mm,
very first lesson my mother taught me about using credit cards, and now I learned good credit habits because my mom learned bad credit habits. So the very first lesson my mom taught me was you only use your credit card when you have cash in your pocket.
mm,
So again, my gas card, I only use that for gas. Do I have cash in my pocket? I sure do. So let me go get my gas, put it on my card. As soon as I put it on my credit card, use that cash and pay off the card
mm-hmm.
because you're using it, you're not overusing it, and you're paying it back on time, more than on time.
Yeah. Okay, because that's one thing that they say, make sure make sure you have a payment and make sure you pay early. And I'm like, okay,
Don't
but I
you
didn't
don't got to
know
set
right
yourself
away.
up like that. You don't have to. Like to teach yourself good habits first. Just like when I start helping you with the budget and building a budget, then we'll start establishing when you pay your credit card. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, to just start good habits off the base, use it, pay it right off, as long as you're not overusing it again. And then let me see. Snowball method or avalanche method for paying off or reducing balance. I don't know those
Jasmine,
methods. Yeah, I don't know
I'm
those
not sure
methods.
which one you're reading, but Jasmine wants to know, would you recommend either of those techniques?
Yeah, snowball method or avalanche method. I've never heard of those. I'm gonna look those up. Uh, anything that sounds like avalanche though doesn't sound good. That's all I'll say. If snowball means start off small, if you can pay, if that means like which ones do I pay first, or like which lines of credit do I pay down to zero, um, pay the minimums on all of them if you can. If you can't pay the minimums, look at the interest rates on each of the
Mm,
lines of credit. So if you can't pay the minimum, again, don't run, call them. But if one of your credit cards has an interest rate of 28% and you have another line of credit that doesn't charge you any percent right now, then you would obviously pay off the one that has the 28% interest,
mm-hmm.
because that one's going to hurt you way more than the one that's not going to hurt you. So um when you're paying them off, I'm not sure on those methods. I'm going to look into those more after the class, but when you're paying them off, I just recommend whichever ones you can more comfortably. I am from New York, born and raised. Born and raised. I was born in upstate New York, though, in a city called Middletown, New York. It's
Oh,
two
you're
hours.
from Middletown?
I was born and raised in Middletown. I just moved out to Queens when I turned 31. So I've been out here on my own for a whole year, and I'm just New York raised, born and raised.
Well, that's not this. It's New York State, y'all. It's not the city. She in the
Yeah,
city now, but she
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
before.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was upstate. That's what they consider that before. Now I'm in the city. But even now I live in Queens, so I don't consider that the city, you know what I mean? When you say the city, it's like Manhattan.
Let's see. This is Janae talking about her
Man,
experience with the schools.
that's crazy. Everest, the Rye, like who would have thought? And I remember being young and seeing them on the TVs talking about sign up and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are not the only clients that I have that have had loans with them. So I'm definitely gonna look into that. Thank you.
Yep.
Next
Can
day.
you turn the sound down?
Next day, right after, I was just telling Nikki, again, I have a card that I only use at one store. And whenever I go to that store and I swipe my credit card, as soon as they hand me the receipt, I then tell them, okay, can I pay off my credit card now? And I pay off my credit card with the cash right after that purchase. So it is okay to pay your credit card off right after you use it, but the only exclusion is not overusing it. So again, if the credit card is $100, you're not using $100. If the credit card is $100, you're only using $30 because that's 30%.
Got it. Got it. Sean asked a question, but she didn't put it in the chat, so therefore it's not asked.
Okay.
She sent it in a text message. It's gonna turn me sideways.
I work with Sean, just so everybody knows.
Right?
Yeah. That's exactly right. If you paid it off before your statement date, you will not be charged interest on that credit card. My
Mm,
grandmother, look, God rest her soul, she hated interest. She hated interest. So when you pay off your balances before the due date, interest is how the creditors make money.
Mm,
The higher the interest rate, the more money they're making. So if you don't have a balance on the due date, there's nothing for them to attach their interest rate to. There's no money for them to make.
mm-hmm.
So if you spend $30 when you swipe that card, you're paying off when you go and pay it off $30. So that also helps too. Be more disciplined. All right, Snowball is taking all of the debts from smallest to largest and paying off one by one. Yeah, yeah. I would recommend Snowball.
So she put
Well,
the
combo.
difference.
Yeah, a combo. Yeah, combo. I would recommend combo, like I said earlier. Pay off the lowest ones that you can first comfortably, and then the ones that you can't just pay off one and done, look at the interest rates on them, and then, pay those off as you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You see, the people who have the most questions are trying to get they getting their stuff together tonight.
But please do, and let me know if you need help. After paying it right off, absolutely, I see a spike. So once you start paying these balances down to zero and then disciplining yourself and giving them a purpose, like I said earlier, creditors are going to be coming at you like crazy. First of all, people are going to be offering you credit increases. You're going to start getting a whole bunch of flyers in the mail. When you go check out places, they're going to be offering you credit cards. Absolutely. But it's on you again to be disciplined. So
Mm-hmm.
if they offer you that more credit, it's just to entice you. If you weren't using it before, you don't need to use it now. That's what I always tell myself. It's nice and it helps your credit score too. So let's say you're paying your score and they increase your credit $1,000. That helps you with your utilization because then you can use more because your 30% then increases.
Mm.
Your 30% increases. But again, to stay disciplined, you just tell yourself, nope, nope, this is just my gas card. I only use this for gas. Thank you for the increase and thank you for improving my score because now my utilization is going to improve even more because I'm using less. But I don't need that credit because that's just going to get me in more trouble.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna. I'm going through my credit cards and I'm going to put them in the little categories.
Yes.
Definitely going to be using that tip. Jasmine said she canceled all of her credit
Yep.
solicitations.
Yes. They are annoying. You can too. It will even say when you open it on the side, it says somewhere like, if you don't want to receive these, you can call or go to a website. So it gets very annoying and they will keep
Mm-hmm.
coming because again, the better your score is, the more they can trust you. And they're like, hey, we want to trust her with our money too. And then hopefully she won't be good and will have to pay us all this money. But you will be good. You will be good if you do take that credit or if you just don't take it.
See, and this is where a lot of people mess up their credit. You know, when you're going into college, you know how they have those people outside ready to
Yep.
sign you up for the credit cards?
Oh, let me tell you. So I also started this business. Like I said earlier, my mom taught me all the good stuff because she learned the bad stuff. I was young getting the creditors calling my house, but when I graduated high school, all my friends had credit. Everybody had a Forever 21, a
Mm-hmm.
Victoria's Secret, the ones where they're very predatory to young girls because we're always shopping there. But as soon as you turn 18, they want to hook you. So all my friends, a lot of my clients, as soon as they came out of high school, college, it happens. It definitely happens. But like I said, you can, if you still have those cards, just get them down to zero and then put them in your drawer and only take Victoria's Secret out when you need to go get some new underwear. That's it. That's it. From an old address, I don't recommend it. The only reason I don't recommend disputing from an old address is because they're gonna respond to you, and when they respond to you, you want them to respond to the current address so that you know what they say. When you dispute credit, the first step is an inquiry. It's to say, "Hey, I found this on my credit report, and I just want to make sure that it's valid." So they're going to respond back to that and say either yes, it's valid or no, it's not valid. And you want to know what that is so that you can then respond back to them on your next round.
Mm-hmm. 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 Oh no, they they had a lot to say in the chat. I
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
reading. I'm like, is there a
No,
question
yeah,
in there?
yeah. No, yeah. Call the number. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell them, put me on your do not call list. Please stop calling me. It's so annoying. You can tell them stop calling. You can go. I think there's a website now. They even updated it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Got the new age.
I'm telling you. As if you go to your mailbox and you see like a million envelopes and they all, you've been pre-approved. You've been pre-approved. I'm like, all right, enough already. um,
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, thank you, Yazzie. Thank you. There you go. She said you can fill out a dispute form on the DeVry website. That was good advice. I'm gonna look more into that still though.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And
I'm
then maybe
trying.
when you come back, you can touch on it and let everybody know what they could do and should do if
Yes, yes,
something like that appears on their credit.
yes, yes, absolutely. And then, like I said, I have an upcoming class if you want to do it, Nikki, about, how to set a purpose, based on the credit limit and your utilization. I'd be happy to go over that with you ladies too as well.
Yes, 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 and yes. But this is all so this is great information.
Thank
And
you
I'm so
so
glad
much.
because a lot of people, I mean, we're in class and we're talking about building business credit,
Hmm.
but your personal credit, a lot of people's personal credit took like big
Has to come
hits.
first. Has to come first. Personal
Hmm.
credit comes first. Once you get your own fundamentals down, then we'll jump right on over to the business because you'll know how to do it. It will make more
Yes.
sense. So I'd be happy to help you guys out with that too.
Oh, you guys, what do you
Yes,
think we're
yes,
gonna be?
yes.
Everybody's gonna be. I'm telling y'all, didn't I say I was y'all gonna have y'all set? Y'all gonna be set.
I'm so
Y'all be
excited.
set. Okay, so is there any tips? I know you gave us a lot of tips and a lot of ideas of what we can do and, just basic things, right? Is there
Mhm.
anything that you would like to leave with everybody that they can do that they can apply tonight or soon?
On-time monthly payments. And I know it's scary sometimes, but that's the most important one. On-time monthly payments. Um, and get your balances down to zero as comfortable as possible. And then if you have any other questions past that, let me know and hit me up on my Instagram.
Yes, yes, yes. So what other services do you offer? So you do
So
credit repair.
yep, I do credit repair. I also I cover all types of topics. Like I said, it's a time and money management resource for winners in the real world. I help with time management. I help with business advice. I help with establishing businesses. I offer consultation calls. So if you're not sure if you need credit repair or if you just want to talk about your credit or you pulled your own credit report and you want to look over it with me, I offer consultation calls for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and then a weekly basis if you guys really want to. On my website, you can definitely check out www.realworldwinning.com. So yeah, what we can talk about, the topics are endless. Anything that has to do with business and money. I come from a banking background. I really started Real World Winning because a lot of people, when I start with my clients, always like, why didn't I learn this in school? Like, this is everything I needed to know. And I can go on a whole rant about that on a different
Mm-hmm.
day.
Because
But
they
this
surely set us up for failure as soon as you walk through the doors in
they
college.
want
As
you to keep
soon
us
as you
in
walk
that
in.
system so that you don't know this stuff, so that you don't become your own entrepreneur, so that you don't start your own business and learn how to build credit on your own and don't have to depend on somebody else.
Yeah.
So I definitely hear you. I'm on there. I started Real World Winning because of my own personal experiences as well and my business experiences as well. So
Hmm.
that's why I'm here and I'm just an open book. I'm very transparent and what we can talk about is endless.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. And I'm so glad that you are sharing this with everybody because again, this is something, yeah, we're learning it later on in life, but at least we're learning and fixing it.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Better late than never. You can always fix it. I always say, and then I'm gonna answer this question. I always say credit in its true nature was for emergencies. So don't beat yourself up because we've all been there where our
Hmm.
credit hasn't been the best or we had to use our credit card for something and we really didn't want to. And now that you're going to improve it, you're going to start hearing my voice in your head like, oh my God, Louise, I'm not using this for this purpose. But listen, I get it. I've been there and you can always improve it. That's what I'll always say. You can always improve it. So don't beat yourself up.
Right.
You pay the services like tab for a medical debt or just pay the medical institution. Um, Sometimes it depends. I also work in health insurance, so it depends if it's the medical institution that's billing you, or if there's like a collection agency that they use, or like a billing agency that they use. You can definitely dispute or discuss it with them. But I also have a very good insight to medical billing as well. Again, like I said, because I work in health insurance, and I can't tell you how many times my members will call in, and I'll just want to tell them like, no, don't pay it because they can't check, they that can't go on your credit score, but all right, if you want to pay it, sure. So I could definitely help out with that as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And the consultations, do they book with you online, or is there your calendar is up there, or?
Yes, yes. So I have a calendar on my website. You can also DM me, and I can slide it into the calendar so nobody else takes your time on the website. So there's very just contact me. I'll make it very easy for you.
Awesome. And tell everybody once again where they can find you.
You can find Real World Winning on Instagram, on Facebook. You can find us at www.realworldwinning.com, all those places, and TikTok too.
And TikTok. And
And
she has
TikTok.
funny videos.
I try.
And she has funny videos. So everybody right here, right now, I want you guys to go and follow her. And I also want you guys to thumbs up this video, because I don't know what we got. What we got in the likes, guys. What do we have? It's 29 in the room right now. What do we have with the likes? Are we up to 29? We should probably be past 29 likes. Somebody put it in the chat. What do we have? Shelly says, thank you for your information. And you are great.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. And yes, I have been working in the field. I've been working in banking, or I worked in banking for about 7 years. I work in health insurance now for the past 4 years. But I've been doing credit since I was in the banks.
Mhm.
Because again, I saw such a huge opportunity in my community for just knowledge and learning how to make banking work, like a checking and a savings account, and just credit. So I that's where it sparked it, and it started from there. And also my own personal need to start my own credit journey actually
Mhm.
started in the bank too. So I've been doing it since then. I help people fix their credit. I do disputes off of your credit report. I have about 10 clients right now, hoping to get some more if you guys want. And yeah, so I'm very active in it. I've done the program myself. I'm the type of person that I can't, support something or give something I love that is not good. So I've done the program myself, and it has helped me improve my credit score myself. So um yeah, yeah, I'd love to help you guys out.
And I want to add to that I just started working on my credit. Like, I didn't even have credit.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
and
And that's
I
worse
was
than
like,
bad
okay,
credit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had nothing. I had no history,
Yep.
no anything. And so I was like, I can't apply for anything. There's nothing. There's nothing here. So
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
started building mine myself. So.
Yep, yep. And we're going to talk about that in the next class about, giving it a purpose and stuff like that, and secured cards and the difference between secure cards and non-secure cards. So what I
Mm,
recommend for you, Nikki, is a secured card, and we'll talk about that more.
yes, we are gonna need to.
Good, good, good.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So thank you so very much. Okay, so what we got? I need y'all to hit the thumbs up, y'all. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Are you guys excited for the next class? Put a one in the chat if you want to have Louisa back. Should she be like our resident credit teacher? What do you
Oh, I
guys
would love
think? Put
it.
ones in the chat.
I would love it.
Do you work with business credit also? That's from Yes.
Yes, I do. Yes, I sure do. Absolutely. I've established my own business credit for Real World Winning itself, so I'd be happy to help you out with your business as well.
All right, so we got a bunch of ones in here, Louisa.
Thank you, guys. I would love to come back. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for spending your time with us this evening. I'm pretty sure everybody appreciates it. I know I for sure do. And
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
glad that we are connected and we are together, because it's going to be so much more exciting just building on the layers. Sometimes we
Yeah.
do a class and it's like, okay, we're just left off right here.
Yep.
But
Nope.
credit
I'm
is
gonna make
about the layers.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure it sticks for you guys. That's why I'm here. Like I said, I want to break it down and make it understandable. So I look forward to teaching you more about credit and everything. Oh, thank you so much, Yaz. I can't wait. Nikki, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. You already know what I said about the universe. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Make sure you go and follow her. And also, if you're not a part of the Honor Society yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. This video is only going to be up for 24 hours. After that is going into the vault and the Honor Society. And in order for you to join the Honor Society, you have to go to Bubble Babes University, and that's BABEZ University.com. Click the Honor Society. It's an all access membership. You have access to all of the videos, workbooks, downloads, inspiration, education, everything is in there. And if you're not ready to commit, don't worry about it. Just click the banner at the top, sign up for the newsletter, and then you'll stay updated on everything. And then whenever you're ready to commit, flip the switch, y'all. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And you all have an amazing night. Good night.